On commence avec les filles, ça va être calme. Non, non, vous allez voir que les filles aujourd'hui, ça fait plus rire du tout.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Villars-sous-Écot for round 4 of the FIM Women's Motocross World Championship. We are at the French Grand Prix, the MXGP of France. Race 2, WMX, about to get underway here in the next few minutes or so. And as you can see, racetrack has been completely sort of changed overnight. And if you're new to MXGP TV, then of course you'll know that, maybe you don't know that women's race 1 and the European 125 races are on Saturday, race 2 on Sunday morning. That's how they roll here. But there's a quick look at the track, just over 1,700 meters long. Start straight downhill into that left. A couple of corners later, we enter the second split, and then obviously halfway around the lap, sector 2, sector 3, and sector 4 towards the finish line area. But the racetrack having a bit of a revamp overnight. It's a lot more pleasant today, the weather conditions here. Girls have been out on their sighting lap ahead of WMX Race 2, a race that was won yesterday, by the way, race 1 by Courtney Duncan, her 4th race win of the season. Here's how they line up. Duncan on pole, she was 1.7 seconds quicker than Lotte van Drunen, with Larissa Papenmeier going to line about another 1.2 further back. And then we've got Daniela Guillen, Kiara Fontanesi, Charlie Cannon, Lynn Volk, Nancy van der Ven. Van der Ven will not be lining up today though. She and Charlie Cannon banged bars through a downhill sweeping left-hander yesterday, and the Dutch rider, number 85, Nancy van der Ven, the defending champion, the reigning champion, since being taken to hospital, and she is now in Belgium waiting for surgery on a double lower leg fracture. So get well soon, champs. Get well soon, Nancy van der Ven. Hopefully we see you back soon, but maybe not this year, given the time frame, but you never know. But the WMX riders making their way to the line ahead of WMX Race 2 here. We are at Villars-sous-Écot, right over on the east of the country, close to the border of Switzerland. There's your winner from, sorry, there's not your winner from Race 1. There's Lotte van Drunen. I just saw the Kawasaki number, the front plate and the front fender. But Lotte van Drunen there. 255, Daniela Guillen, the last lap GasGas rider. She was 3rd yesterday in the race. Started 2nd, and then eventually came home in 3rd. But Kiara Fontanesi it was who led for 7 of the 11 laps before Courtney Duncan on the Big Van World MTX Kawasaki found her way through. She got into 2nd, then fell down to 4th, got herself back to the lead, took over the lead on lap 8. Kiara Fontanesi there, the MX Fonta Racing GasGas rider, 2nd for her in that first race. For the 3rd time this year, she got a 2nd in race 1 in Switzerland, in Spain, and again here. She's eyeing up a podium position at the very least. And Larissa Papenmeier as well, 4th in race 1. Can she get her way onto the podium here today? Because the riders that are vying for those positions on the podium are, and including Lynn Volk, Lotte van Drunen, Larissa Papenmeier, Daniela Guillen, Kiara Fontanesi, and Courtney Duncan. Realistically, those 5. But 20 minutes plus 2 laps. We've got thumbs up down here. We'll get a green flag behind the gate any moment now. The last 1 or 2 riders making their way to the line there. Katharina Schultz on the Schweider Sport Brunner Kawasaki, making her way to that inside gate. Normally you'd be like, yeah, cool gates, but it's obviously a fast downhill left, so it's going to tighten up from that left-hand side, which is why you see someone like Lots van Drunen right there in the centre of the gate look on the Kawasaki, and then a little bit further down the other big hitters in this class. But the Fly Racing 15-second board up then for the final time this weekend. Round 4 here in France at Villars-sous-Écot, WMX Race 2. Clutch engaged. Gates about to drop here. They held them a long time. Good jump there from the 151, Duncan. Cannon alongside her, 423, Larissa Papameyer, and 401 to the outside. Lotte van Drunen. The rider there just having to sort of like hit the brakes there, but it's Duncan who leads as they head uphill for the first time. Cannon there in second of Australia. Round the outside, Kiara Fontanesi trying to sweep through into third. She does that and quickly moves herself into second. Not quite. So Fontanesi coming out all guns blazing on this opening lap then. But you can see how different the racetrack is compared to what they had yesterday. Absolute road race. I thought we were in Mazzano this morning when I arrived here. But the ruts were long, they were hard, they were sticky, it was technical, very, very challenging. But top of the hill, getting ready to drop down Monster Energy Mountain. Duncan leads. The number 7 JK Racing Yamaha of Charlie Cannon is next. You can see how much quicker this racetrack is today. Fontanesi there in third place. Larissa Papameyer in fourth. Georgia Vlasic in fifth. In fact, top of the hill, yes, still Larissa Papameyer there in that fourth place. Working their way towards the end of this opening lap. Past pit lane, they go left, back in the opposite direction, right, bottom straight, up the hill towards the finish line area. And Fontanesi looking a little bit streamlined on this opening lap here. Seems to have lost her visor. Not sure she fell on the sighting laps or not, but moves her way into second position just at the end of pit lane there. And Cannon looking down as she comes out of the turn. Has she got an issue with the front end? Wow, yeah, front brake. It looks like the front brake is jamming on. Problem with the front brake there because she just lost the front into that turn. So Charlie Cannon, who was penalised yesterday for some course-cutting infringement when she picked herself up, or maybe later on in the race where she lost 2 World Championship points, going from bad to worse for the number 7 on the JK Yamaha, because all of a sudden clearly has an issue with that front end. It's a shame she didn't realise sooner, because she could have just nipped into the pit lane area and maybe got it sorted. There's Lotte van Drunen, the 401. She's in 10th place at the moment. 511 in red, round the outside, Martine Hughes. Just goes around the outside of Sarah Anderson there. Or was it Gillen, actually? Danny Gillen, Anderson just behind them. So Martine Hughes on a bit of a charge at the moment in 7th place. Working our way to the bottom end of the circuit. Looks like Amandine Verstappen there in blue on the 274. It is. She is just behind Georgia Vlasic. So she's going to be in 4th place at the moment. Vlasic on the KTM in 3rd. Actually, Duncan should be leading. Fontanesi 2nd. Yeah, Papameyer 3rd. Vlasic 4th. Verstappen in 5th place. Working our way towards the end of what is the first official full lap. As always, finish line to finish line gives you your lap time. Gap between 1st and 2nd, about 5.5. Oh, Vlasic folds the front upside down, goes out of 4th place. Over the line then, 1:56.1 for our race leader, 6 seconds clear of Fontanesi. Papameyer 2nd, Verstappen up to 3rd. Papameyer 3rd, Verstappen up to 4, Hughes 5, Guillen 6, Gillen down to 7, Van Drunen up to 8, Anderson 9, Volk 10, Montini, Salebo, Martinez, Cannon still in the race in 14th place at the moment. Is that Van Drunen, Lotte van Drunen, top of the hill, just gaining a position, possibly. Here's Martine Hughes, Looking to go around the outside of the 274. Amandine Verstappen. So the Norwegian on the Husqvarna just gets cross-rutted there. Daniela Guillen alongside her, who was third in race 1. The Spaniard having some work to do here. I tell you what, she muscled her way past the Norwegian there. That's how much she wanted that position. Moves up into 5th place. Second and third, top of the hill. Then working their way into this turn here. Verstappen, Daniela Guillen. And then just behind them, lurking and getting closer as Guillen goes alongside. Verstappen closes down the line on the face of the jump. Takes a quick look across at her pit board. She's going to hold the inside line here at the end of the straight, turn 12. Picks off the Belgian. And all of a sudden moves into 4th position. Green Kawasaki there, Lotte van Drunen. Another bad start, just like yesterday. Worked her way to 5th by the time the checkered flag fell. In fact, made her way past Lynn Volk on the final lap. Whereas Lynn Volk, she's in 8th position at the moment. Just dropping onto the start straight now in the background behind Martine Hughes. Got a rider down in turn 13, the right-hander, the penultimate corner on the racetrack. But Lotte van Drunen closest to us, the 401 on the Kawasaki. Closing in on the Belgian. These two fighting over 5th place at the moment as van Drunen goes around the outside as opposed to using that little single on the inside. Strange corner this here because you're pushing and you're drifting in and all of a sudden it starts to tighten up. Proper little dogleg section and then very tight before you head back uphill into that turn. Good drive across the waves. Daniela Guillen was fastest lap of the race that time around, a 1:55.48. And van Drunen gonna have to go the long way around at the top of the hill. Well, Verstappen knows she's there, but if she can get good drive on the exit, well, she does, but not going to find a way through at the bottom of the hill. Alongside on the little rhythm section, and then cuts back to the left. Verstappen knows she's there as well, but is she going to commit to the outside? Yes, she does. Van Drunen goes inside. Verstappen left the door wide open, and eventually van Drunen goes through and sneaks into 5th place. Three laps complete for the first 3 or 4 riders. And another fastest lap of the race for Daniela Guillen again, a 1:55.217. Compare that to the lap time of Courtney Duncan, your race leader, 1:56.9. Fontanesi, 57.6. 57.9 for Papenmeier. Guillen in the 55s, wow. And she is just behind Papenmeier as we cut back here to Martine Hughes and Lynn Volk, 1:72. These two fighting over 7th place at the moment. So the Fantic rider in yellow. 3rd rider in this trio fighting over that 6th place. Verstappen seems to have regrouped here. Lynn Volk gets good drive, and this is the battle for 3rd place at the moment. So Larissa Papenmeier has been caught, predictably, with that the pace that she has. 55 lap time, 1:55 compared to the 57 of the rider ahead of her, who can't get over the double, and Daniela Guillen goes through, takes over that 3rd place. Closes down the door, prevents the attack from coming back as it stands right now. Well, we'll do the podiums in a moment. Lindbolk realised that if she went down the outside, she was going to get closed off, possibly by Martine Hughes, the rider in red from Norway. So decided to switch it up. Working their way towards the end of their 4th lap here. A couple of horrible holes on the exit of that turn yesterday, just at the point where you want to get on the gas at the base of the hill. Hughes coming in hot. Goes around the outside. Will it pay off, though, by the time? No, not quite. And this is the fastest that this track has been all weekend long, so I wouldn't be surprised if at some point some of these riders just suffer a little bit of arm pump, even though they were on the track yesterday. Hughes goes through, so too does Volk. 2 positions lost there for Amandine Verstappen on that Yamaha. So these two now up into 6th and 7th place. Just looking a little bit further down the order. Yeah, Charlie Cannon down to 27, obviously been in, probably getting some running repairs and then going again. Jamie Astudillo just outside of the points in 22nd place, just behind Janina Lehmann. But Lindvolk cuts back to the inside here, bottom of the hill. Oh, nicely sides away down the inside, but then the 2 riders come together on the exit. And I think Martine Hughes, I'm not sure if she got hooked up on there as well, and that's kind of what dragged her down, but you could already see that that pass had been made, and maybe Hughes could have just kept a wider berth, but she was holding her line, and Lindvolk goes through. So Volk now up in a 6th place. And Verstappen goes to 7th. Anderson 8, Galeason 9, Salevo now in 10th place. Watch this here. So she's already cut to the inside, already made the pass there. Yeah, and then basically what happened, Martine Hughes, as she sort of realised she'd unloaded the suspension, was coming back towards, and there's nothing she could do. Her back end was just sliding out, and then it just unloaded a little bit and then pushed her over to that right side ever so slightly. All of a sudden, the battle for 2nd position is on. 7.5 minutes to go. And Daniela Guillen all over the back of Chiara Fontanesi. So the MX Fonta, GasGas leading the last lap. GasGas. Guillen still the fastest rider on track, 56.2 last time around, 57.7 for Fontanesi. Duncan 56.1, her fastest lap, but Guillen, again, she likes that part of the racetrack, finds her way into 2nd position, blast by Fontanesi. She's now got clear track ahead of her. Be interesting to see now the lap times. Can she do anything about Duncan? Can Fontanesi come back at the Spaniard? Six laps in the books. Yesterday's race was 11 laps, so she's got 5 laps to try and whittle down that 11.8 second advantage. Daniela Guillen finding her way past Martine Hughes. This was for 5th place. And then down the inside of Amandine Verstappen, got her into 4th, just at the end of pit lane there. Next up was Larissa Papameyer. Look how she seat bounces and gets over the gap, just about, to move into that 3rd place. And then same part of the racetrack here. Gets the distance. Neither of them were clean, but just a little bit more momentum there for Guillen as she goes into 2nd. And she does have clear track, so now we'll keep an eye on the Sector 1 times. Sector 1, Duncan 27.2, 26.9 for Daniela Guillen. Here is 4:01, Lotte van Drunen. She's still there in 5th place. She's got Larissa Papameyer just ahead of her. So Papenmeier, Yamaha Racing 423. One of the most experienced campaigners in WMX. Got the young rookie behind her. Just under 5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. And Van Drunen looking menacing here, and she, well, thought about going down the inside. Papenmeier closes off the attack, but then will Van Drunen get the drive around the outside here? Yes, she will. She doubles in and finds her way past the German. Van Drunen now up in the fourth. Quick pull of the tear off there for the young Dutch rider. Up onto the plateau where they emerge back onto the start straight. Van Drunen now fourth, Papenmeier fifth, Volk in sixth. She's about 11.5 seconds behind Papenmeier. Here's your race leader, Courtney Duncan, Big Van Wild MTX Kawasaki. In amongst traffic. Although yesterday's traffic was a little bit more challenging because the ruts and the track was just absolutely brutal. See there, leaders coming through and lappers involved in their own little battles. You see how heavy the ground was there as she tried to get down the inside of the back marker. Just needs to be patient here, does Duncan, because the rider ahead of her probably thinks it's a race that she's involved in. Right, bottom of the hill, through the right, there's Daniela Guillen. I tell you what, she is closing. She's got Fontanesi still right there with her, look, top of the hill. And Fontanesi tries to do, and she does do, what Daniela Guillen did to her a couple of laps ago. Ah, hanging off the bike, though, as she emerges onto the plateau. Fontanesi back into second. These two fighting over the second step of the podium as well. Because yesterday, Fontanesi second, Guillen third. These two change those positions in this race. Then obviously it'll be the Spaniard who takes the second step of the podium. And Fontanesi will be third overall. That's why she's fighting, to stay ahead of the Spaniard. Traffic on the horizon once again. 3 riders, 4 riders for these two to deal with. Fontanesi splits the 2 back markers just as she drops down into turn 3 there. Nice move that, because Daniela Guillen not able to find a way through at that point. Buys her a bit of breathing space. Oh, goes long downhill. Those ruts just starting to form up nicely now at the bottom there. Daniela Guillen, who was the fastest rider of the race, 1:55.217. That was on lap 3. 2 minutes last time around. So that early burst of speed just lacking, but as the track changes, the ruts get deeper. And back markers just hold the job up a little bit. Difficult to be that consistent. Just about getting over that little gap. .34 there. Looking pristine at the moment. Emanuela Tolucci. There's a Papenmeier in there somewhere. Here's Lotte Van Drunen. Van Drunen still there in 4th position. 4 5:01. He's not going to be on the podium this weekend. Started the campaign with 2nd overall in Sardinia, 2nd again in Switzerland, 5th in Spain the previous round 2 weeks ago. She's going to be 4th overall here on 34 points, with a 5th and a 4th. Three laps to go then. Larissa Papenmeier trying to split 2 back markers ahead of her here. These riders here, 32nd, 33rd place. Yesterday's race, the leaders lapped up to 12th position. So again, just a massive indication as to how much different the track was yesterday. 2:10 lap time was the fastest time yesterday. 1:55 today in race 2. Elpat, Larissa Papenmeier on course for 5th overall at the moment. Will be her best result, so gradually getting closer to the podium. 6th in Spain, will be 5th overall here. Two-lap board getting ready, though, for our race leader. And here is the Big Van World MTX Kawasaki. Courtney Duncan, 1:59.6 last time around, 10 laps in the books. Still has 8.3 seconds over the battling Fontanesi and Daniela Guillen. Those two still about a second apart. Can't afford to switch off. Just got to be so precise at the bottom of those hills in those ruts. Gap still hovering around about 8.8 seconds at the moment, because sector 2 starts just on the exit of turn 3, and then after that, as we get to the bottom of Monster Energy Mountain here, we are going to get our next sector split, where we enter sector 3, 35.5. Yeah, and putting distance between, so 27.4, 28.0. 36s for Fontanesi and Guillen. But you can see there from the overhead, these two still going at it. Fontanesi cannot switch off, she cannot relax, and traffic there as well. And Daniela Guillen not able to get over the gap there. That cost her time, as that cost her a chance of 2nd position in the race. A lap and a bit is going to be an eternity around here, especially when you're dealing with traffic. Courtney Duncan then into the final lap. Going to be 1 lap longer than we had in race 1. 11 laps yesterday, due to the fact that we're about 15 seconds a lap quicker than we were yesterday for the most part. Definitely came out fired up at the start of this 2nd race. Guess when you know that the track is going to be a lot smoother, therefore a lot faster, the mentality of the riders changes, because technical circuit on Saturday, high-speed track on Sunday. Everybody is up for it, and we can see that with Fontanesi and Guillen as well. Those two pushing each other all the way to the flag, still separated by 1.5 seconds. But dropping down the steepest descent for the final time. Courtney Duncan arrived here with a 10-point lead over Daniela Guillen. It was 15 going into race 2. If things stay as they are now, that'll be 20 points. Got to be careful with the back marker there. Not too much room for manoeuvre. Couple of corners to go. No, she can't afford to switch off as well, despite the advantage she has going into that final lap. Sometimes when you make the most mistakes, when you just switch off and go into cruise mode, thinking, yeah, I'll just bring it home. But just keeping the pace high, keeping the tempo high. Into the final corner, bottom of the hill. And Courtney Duncan, Big Van World, MTX Kawasaki, is going to win race 2. She wins the French Grand Prix. That is a big win for the Kiwi girl. And she sets a new Grand Prix record as well. 22 Grand Prix victories, the most in WMX, and she does it here in France. Fontanesi hangs on for second, Daniela Guillen third, Van Drunen fourth, Larissa Papenmeier fifth. But Courtney Duncan goes 1-1 here. Back-to-back double moto wins in Spain and now France. And she leaves here with a 20-point advantage over the Spaniard, Daniela Guillen, as we head to round 5 in the Netherlands.
Les lauréates, les 3 animatrices du classement général. Il ne s'agit pas du podium de manche, il s'agit du classement général de la catégorie féminine.
Sarah Anderson over the line in 7th. We wait for Amandine Verstappen 8, Daniela Galicia 9, and then Matthias Salebo waiting for those to come through in the first top 10 positions. Three wins on the bounce so for the championship leader. Podium at every round so far. Third in Sardinia, victorious in Switzerland, Spain, and now here in France. Kiara Fontanesi, second overall, her first podium of the season. 2 second-place finishes for her. Here's Lisa with our winner, Courtney Duncan.
Courtney Duncan, you took the whole shot. You now have 3 back-to-back overall victories and an extension of your championship lead. A good day at the office.
Yeah, it was a really good day. Track was completely flat, so I knew the start would be important, and who knew this girl could pull a whole shot? I mean, I don't remember the last time I pulled a whole shot, so that really helped, and then just put a couple of fast laps in at the start and just rode my own race.
Great job, thanks, Court.
Courtney Duncan leaves France then as a double race winner for the second time this year. 3 Grand Prix victories on the bounce. Extends her championship lead from 10 to 20 points over her nearest rival as we head to round 5. And the Kiwi girl breaks the record in terms of WMX Grand Prix victories. 22 now. 1 more than Fontanesi, who held the record coming into this weekend. Give you the official result then. Courtney Duncan wins race number 2 here. What's been a perfect weekend for her. Fontanesi, second overall, but she had to fight all the way to the flag to fend off Daniela Guillen. Lotte Van Drunen 4th, Larissa Papenmeier 5th, and Lynn Volk, Sarah Anderson, and Amandine Verstappen 9th for Danny Gleeson, and 10th for Matthias Salebo. Then we had Britt Jens Bacon, Martine Martinez, Georgia Blasig, Virginie Gaumond, the 775 there of Alexandra Masuri. And then we had Montini, Van der Beek, Capsamer, Cannon into 19th, and Vio.
Dans quelques instants, mesdames et messieurs, nous allons procéder à la remise des prix de cette épreuve de championnat du monde féminin. We start the prize giving ceremony in a few seconds for Women's World Championship.
Take a look at the overall then. 2 wins, another perfect score for Courtney Duncan on the top step of the podium here in France. Fontanesi on the podium for the first time this year with 2 second-place finishes. Daniela Guillen Third overall, another 100% record for the Spaniard as well. 2 third-place finishes for her this weekend. Van Drunen and Papenmeier ran out the top 5, with Bolt picking up 6th. In terms of the championship then, Courtney Duncan extends her lead from 10 to 20 points then over Daniela Guillen. Van Drunen 3rd. Fontanesi on the move though, she's up to 5th. Papenmeier up to 6th. Charlie Cannon losing a couple of positions this weekend. Tough day for the Australian. Nancy van der Ven likewise. Get well soon. Nancy van der Ven. Double leg fracture yesterday in race 1. Manufacturers' Championship looks like this. No change, but Kawasaki just pull clear. 195 to 173.
On accueille sur la 3e marche du podium. Nous vient d'Espagne, pilote GasGas, Daniela, Guillen, 3e.
So 3rd overall this weekend, Daniela Guillen, last lap, GasGas racing. 3 consecutive 3rd place finishes, Switzerland, Spain, and now here. Started the season with the overall win in Sardinia. So very, very consistent is the Spaniard. Second in the championship chase as well. And that's her 6th career podium. 4th time she's finished in 3rd position. Kiara Fontanesi, welcome back to the podium, Kiara. 2nd overall, 2 second place finishes for the MX Fonta Racing GasGas rider, who was pushed all the way to the flag by the girl to her left. For Kiara Fontanesi, 54 podiums now. But Courtney Duncan, Big Man World, MTX Kawasaki, mounts the top step of the podium for the 3rd time this year. 22nd time in her career, setting that new record. 3rd place trophy then to Daniela Guillen. Another one for the trophy cabinet for the last lap GasGas rider. 2nd overall, Kiara Fontanesi. The board of directors set, well, too fast. But Courtney Duncan takes another winner's trophy from France. But a big weekend here for the Big Man World MTX Kawasaki rider. 20 points clear now with 2 rounds to go. Bit of a break now, isn't there, between this round? About 3 months, something like that. But Antonio Alia Portela, the FIM CMS director, delivers the red plate to Courtney Duncan. She took over the championship lead in Spain, and she continues to ride in red. National anthem time for New Zealand and Courtney Duncan. Don't you just love a national anthem remix there with a dance vibe in the background? Courtney Duncan on the top step of the podium. 2 wins out of 2 this weekend here in France to win the French Grand Prix, flanked by Kiara Fontanesi, 2 seconds for 2nd overall, Daniela Guillen 2 thirds for 3rd overall. We will talk to the top 3 in just a few moments' time, but before that, though, here's the highlights of race 2. WMX race 2 here. Round 4, France at Villars-sous-Écot. Completely different racetrack to what they had in race 1. Courtney Duncan over the Fox holeshot line, ahead of everybody else. A couple of riders almost running wide there, but it was Duncan who led. Charlie Cannon of Australia was second, Larissa Papenmeier third. Fontanesi was in there in fourth and quickly making inroads. She swept around the outside of Papenmeier at the top of the hill there to move into third place. Tried to go after Cannon, but about a half a lap later, she would get that pass because there was a front end issue for the Yamaha rider. Fontanesi then into second, Cannon down to third. And then you see there, just problems there. The front brake just locking on. Managed to ride around the issue and eventually came home in 19th place. But Georgia Blasik, she fell from fourth. Picked herself up, but eventually came home in 13th as Daniela Guillen was setting the fastest laps of the race and coming through the traffic like a knife through butter as she pursued a possible top 3 finish. Lotte van Drunen, another rider suffering from a poor start, going by Amandine Verstappen to move into 5th. This was Daniela Guillen moving by the 4:23 of Larissa Papenmeier to move into 3rd place, and Lynn Volk and Martine Hughes, they banged bars. Volk stayed up, came home in 6th place. The battle for 2nd then between these two lasted for the second half of the race. Guillen got there briefly. Van Drunen wasn't done yet either. Found her way into 4th with the pass on the German. Fontanesi got herself back into 2nd with a move on Guillen, and she would just edge out the Spaniard as they hit the line. But 2 wins out of 2 for Courtney Duncan. She wins the French Grand Prix here at Villars-sous-Écot. Chiara Fontanesi crossed the line 2nd. Daniela Guillen was 3rd. And they are the same results as race 1. So 2 wins, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. That was the overall. Duncan, Fontanesi and Guillen. And Duncan now 20 points clear after 4 rounds. Round 5 is in the Netherlands at Arnhem in about 3 months from now. So a bit of a summer break for the girls. But Duncan on the top step of the podium here and continues to lead the championship after round 4 in France.
Courtney Duncan has now 3 back-to-back overall victories. This weekend, 2 totally different racetracks, different conditions that you managed well. And I know you're very pleased with that Fox holeshot.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm more pleased with the holeshot. But no, it was a really good weekend for me. I cannot ask for too much more. Like you say, 2 moto victories, 2 different tracks. The first one was obviously super challenging. This one a wee bit more easy. But yeah, another GP win, extended the lead in the championship. And great racing. Good to have Kiara back on the box as well, which was cool. And yeah, looking forward to the next round.
Thanks, Courtney. Second overall today, we have Chiara Fontanesi. Chiara, 2 good starts. I know you lost the lead in that first race, but 2nd place finish, 2nd in this second race. You really fought for that position, and you needed this podium.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've been struggling the whole year, and yeah, I'm super happy to be on the podium again. Just a pity that I cannot fight for the championship because really everything happened to me. So, but I really wanted to finish on the podium, and that's why yesterday I took it very easy. I didn't want to push, not even when Courtney passed me. She was very fast, but I didn't want to risk. I really wanted to save the points and finally finish on the podium. So I'm happy, and now I try to start from here and reach a GP win between the end of the year.
Great job. Thanks, Chiara. Third overall today, we have Daniela Guillen. Daniela, solid, consistent weekend, 2 third-place finishes. Nice battle with Kiara in that second race, and 100% podium record for you now.
Yeah, I'm really happy for the race. I think I do a good race. Also with Kiara, I do good race. So, well, 4-4 for podium. So I'm very happy, and now I have 3 months to training hard for the championship, and well, I'm happy. Thank you.
Great job. Thanks, Daniela.
Daniela Guillen and last lap GasGas Racing, 2:55, picking up 2 third-place finishes here, 3rd overall once again, but 100% record for podiums this year still intact. A win and 3 thirds now, and she's in 2nd position in the championship. She started the day 2nd, still 2nd, but that gap going from 10 to 20 points between her and the championship leader. Great to see Chiara Fontanesi back on the box this weekend. 8th overall in Sardinia, 4th in Switzerland, 9th in Spain, 2nd here with 2 second-place finishes. As she said, it's been a tough year for her, but great to see her there on the podium this weekend in France. Courtney Duncan, the Big Man World Kawasaki rider. 2 more wins. 41 career race wins now. 30 podiums, 22 of those as a winner. Courtney Duncan wins here in France with another perfect score. And we will see more from the women in about 3 months' time when we go to Arnhem in the Netherlands. Well, we're going to take a quick break now. We will be back at 11:50 for EMX 125 Race 2, presented by FMF Racing. So see you here, 11:50 local time. So thanks for watching. See you then. Bye for now.
De départ, c'est Adamo, l'Italien, très incisif. Guillen, le numéro 72, qui passe maintenant en progression constante, sera lui aussi à surveiller. On aura, il y a Pankart qui vient de passer, ou Ekman également. Voilà des hommes forts, on va rentrer dans quelques instants. Le warm-up, ça consiste à prendre connaissance de la nouvelle piste, puisqu'elle a été beaucoup entretenue, beaucoup préparée, beaucoup travaillée. Il y a beaucoup de parties meubles. Voilà le vainqueur d'hier dans la ligne droite, le vainqueur de la course de qualification. Vous l'avez droit de départ, Kiara, le pilote officiel Red Bull Husqvarna Factory. Et je vous disais, la piste a évidemment beaucoup évolué, elle a séché. Il est nécessaire pour les pilotes de ce warm-up qui n'auront pas d'autres mises en train avant la manche. Thibaut Mélistan winning, le français de pointe dans cette course sur la roue arrière de la ligne droite face à ses supporters pour les remercier d'être aussi nombreux. Il y a du bleu, blanc, rouge. On a cru qu'il allait gagner, mais vous a dit à l'arrivée, j'ai pas vu le nombre de tours, j'ai attaqué un peu tard. Et à un moment donné, j'ai juste vu que c'était le dernier tour, je me suis dit, j'aurais dû attaquer un peu avant, deuxième position, capable peut-être de s'imposer hier. Voilà, on va vous laisser calmement avec notre DJ préféré. Ça y est, on a le son, on a l'image, on a la musique. Un petit set réservé pour notre DJ qui, je l'espère, a un bon retour pour suivre des instructions. Merci à lui, à tout de suite. Pas de signification particulière pour ce terrain qui va être, non pas découvert, mais qui va être analysé ce matin et qui va peut-être entraîner quelques réglages différents, notamment sur les suspensions, parce que le sol est beaucoup plus dur. Je tiens également à rappeler qu'il y a des zones très délicates. Et hier, on a vu notamment en bas des descentes, des difficultés avec les suspensions avant, donc le terrain il est endurci, il va falloir surveiller les grandes distances, car il pourrait y avoir quelques mésaventures sur les zones de freinage, donc pas pendant le warm-up évidemment. Voilà Thibaut Mélistan, on a eu le droit de défendre le français de pointe dans cette catégorie avec le montée extérieur. Mélistan encouragé car il peut très bien faire une formidable opération aussi, d'autant plus que la piste est dans une configuration qui devrait le satisfaire parfaitement. C'est un gars du sud, un gars du terrain dur. Et les spectateurs arrivent, c'est bien, on commence à avoir une chambrée de bonne qualité. Attention à ce numéro 96, Luca Konen. Première saison de Grand Prix réel, mais un énorme potentiel. Coéquipier de Kay de Bois, justement.